10 things that I don't want to see in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Let's just go straight into it. The first thing that I don't want to see is too much voice acting or no option to turn off the voice acting. This one might be a bit of a controversial one because I have seen a lot of people actually enjoying the voice acting from the flowers, but in my opinion, just rewatching the trailer, it just seems like it's going to be really annoying. Don't get it twisted, I think it's great that Nintendo was trying something different and including voice acting, especially from a weird source. It's not like a main character speaking, it's mostly, a flower or something. However, like I said, I think it's just going to be annoying. It just looks like it's going to be picking apart every single action that you make in the game, which I don't really understand because we all have the gift of eyes. I don't know, maybe it might give us some tips for the game or something. We'll all probably need it because it's a brand new formula for 2D Mario, but at the same time the option to turn them off would be very nice, and as someone who doesn't even watch cutscenes like that, especially during gameplay, just please shut them up. I just don't want to listen to these flowers talk to me throughout the whole playthrough. Number 2 is no easy mode for the people who need it. As mentioned before, we'll probably need some assistance with this game as it's a brand new formula for 2D Mario. However, if we don't have that, then I'm kind of scared that Nintendo might do their usual antics, which is to just make the whole game easy, which we all love that, don't we? Look, I appreciate the help, Nintendo, but if you can make that a separate mode, or if you can finally do it, allow us to pick a difficulty that we'll like to engage with this game, then that would be great. At least give us the option to do what we want to do. At number 3, I've got a short campaign. Considering that Nintendo's biggest franchise is Mario, and with that comes a high price to pay if you want to pick up this game, yeah, this game can't afford to be short. If we're going to be paying a massive amount of money for this game, especially compared to some other titles, like what Metroid Prime Remastered for example, then it better be a pretty substantial length, essentially. I'm going to keep this point short because it's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, come on Nintendo, give us a fairly lengthy adventure. Hopefully the same length as New Super Mario Bros. U, if not longer, with some after-game content. This is coming from a guy who doesn't play the after game content very much. However, it would be appreciated, and again, it would be nice to have the option to do something after the main game. At number 4, this is quite possibly my most controversial point, but I don't care, man. I'm sick and tired of this. No Koopalings, please. Please, Nintendo, no more. I'm tired of seeing these annoying kids. It was really cool at first seeing them return back in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I was like, oh yeah, those guys from Super Mario Bros. 3. I like that. That's pretty cool. But then they kept on returning and taking up creative boss slots. And then they started crossing the line when they started to take up character slots in Mario Kart 8. Nah, I'm sorry. I'm done with them. I'm actually sick and tired of seeing them now. And especially with the ideas that are being put forward for this next Mario game, why would you want to bring back the Koopalings? That would be such a missed opportunity to introduce some brand new bosses where we can also defeat them in very interesting ways as well. Personally, I'm actually quite hopeful that they won't come back. I don't think that they will because this is not a continuation of the New Super Mario Bros. Franchise, but at the same time, Nintendo became too attached to these Koopalings, man. Bowser Jr. is fine. I will give him a pass, but yeah, the other ones, man, they need to take a hike. I'm sick and tired of seeing them. Linking with that, at number 5, I've got defeating each boss in a similar way. I mentioned this in my 10 things that I don't want to see in Sonic Superstars video. I don't want each boss to just be jumping on their heads, for example. As much as I absolutely loved Super Mario 3D World, we defeated the bosses in pretty similar ways, and although each boss was super unique from like a character standpoint, the way you defeat them, it was all very easy and all in the same way. One reason why I love Mario Odyssey is because we defeated each boss fairly differently from each other, which kept things quite fresh. Obviously, yeah, you had the Broodals who jumped on their heads, but those were like mini bosses, right? I'm not including those. Now, obviously, we don't have Cappy here, but we do have the Wonder Flower, so that could completely change the playing field and could finally change the pace of this whole 2D Mario boss situation. I miss the new Super Mario Bros. DS days where I would go into a castle and be like, huh, I actually don't know what I'm about to go up against and how I'm about to defeat this thing. It would be nice, right? I'm starting to realise that a lot of these points are linking, but at number 6, I've got reusing the same bosses throughout the playthrough. I'll be quite short on this one as well because I've kind of mentioned it in the Koopalings part. Why? Why? I don't mind as much if it's mini bosses. I think you could do worse if you know, just keep repeating the same mini boss. It's a mini boss, so you're not expecting too much from it. But when it comes to castles and world bosses, you want something a bit more grand, more difficult, and more different compared to what you've done before, right? So, you know, my take on that is, again, like with New Super Mario Bros. DS, I would much prefer to have unique bosses for each world to keep things fresh. Here's a bit of a technical issue. At number 7, I don't want this game to tank the Nintendo Switch's battery life. Now, we've seen with this game is a lot more graphical, smooth, there's more sound bites and things like that. Essentially, it's a leap forward for 2D Mario from a design standpoint. Does this mean that it will affect the Nintendo Switch's battery life? Personally, I don't think so at first glance. I'm not an expert on this field by any means, but the fact that it's a 2D Mario platformer, which means that it's more pop art, and also because it's 2D, it's a lot more simple in terms of layout and formula, I don't feel like it's going to affect it too much. But considering that I know absolutely nothing about the game, where it entails, maybe some surprises along the way, and even in terms of file and data stuff, which I'm not even going to get into or even know about, yeah, I guess we'll never know until the game comes out. But 2D platformers are great to play for on the go. I think it's one of the best genres of games to play on the go, especially if it's multiplayer as well. So it would be a massive shame if this game tanks the battery life of the Switch, so it would be very limiting to play this game outside of docked mode. Remember when we played New Super Mario Bros. DS? That was great, we played hours on that, and the DS did very well performance wise, so it would be nice to see a repeat of that here. At number 8, I've got an absolute co-op mode, similar to what they've done in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. For some reason in 3D World, if you want to do multiplayer, you can only play through the main story. In other words, if you want to have a nice multiplayer sesh, you'll have to erase one of your files and start from fresh. Or you just have to play through one of the files. Why? Like, why can't we just handpick certain levels or pick from a selection of levels that more specifically are more aligned with multiplayer? Because let's be real, not every single Mario level has multiplayer in mind. As much as they want to push that, realistically that's not the case. So it would be nice, like in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, if we had a co-op mode where we can pick which stages we want to play on, and maybe we could take it in turns picking it. Essentially, it would just make things a lot easier. Obviously, it would be nice to play through the main game with co-op. I'm still saying to do that, but at the same time, please give us a mode that just simplifies things and only gives us a handful of levels to pick from. Another thing, at number 9, I don't want to see the absence of any mini games. I know this is a bit of a stretch because we haven't had mini games in a main series Mario game in a very long time, but it would be nice still. I'm still including it. The mini games were absolutely fun in New Super Mario Bros. DS, and it would be amazing to see that mode return. I'm not saying that it needs to be the same mini games as Super Mario 64 DS or New Super Mario Bros. DS. However, it would be nice to be able to play something else outside of just platforming in the 2D Mario platformer, if that makes sense. And especially if it is co-op, that would be great, and that would only increase the replay value. Come on, let's be real, you want this as well. You want this as well, don't lie to me. And at number 10, this is another thing that is a bit of a stretch. However, once I say it, everyone is going to join the mob. I'm telling you. Where is Wario and Waluigi? I do not want to see their absence. It is an absolute crime that we are in 2023 and Waluigi has still not been playable in a single main series Mario game, let alone showed up. That is crazy. Considering how popular this character is as well, imagine the possibilities. If each character has their own abilities and stuff, imagine what Waluigi's would be. His would be completely random and bizarre, I can imagine. We've played as Wario before in Super Mario 64 DS, so that's not even a foreign idea. He's already been playable in a main series game before, so why not bring it back? Considering that Daisy and Yoshi have been added as playable characters in a main series Mario game, why not include Wario and Waluigi? That would only make things more interesting, and they're fan favourites. Let's do it, Nintendo. I want to be able to play as the purple Lank. Let's do it. Comment down below any more things that you don't want to see in this game, and what are some things that you do want to see that we might not know about yet. Any surprises, any features, let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.